The decisions you make in the time of waiting will determine your outcome. All right? The decisions you make in your time of waiting will determine your outcome. And I think this was what was going on in Thomas's life. He was thinking, he was praying, he was pondering, he was remembering everything that Jesus said and everything that Jesus did. I believe that there was a spiritual drawing, because the truth is this: he may have felt like an orphan. He may have felt that there was just absence, but that was not the case. Christ was pulling on his heart, right? Christ was pulling on his heart. Christ was tugging him in the right direction. Jesus, I'm sure, was praying for Thomas just like he had been praying for Peter. Peter, Satan has desired to sift you as wheat, but you guys know how this goes? I have prayed for you. I have prayed for you that your faith may not fail. I prayed for you that your faith may not fail. Peter, you're about to cruise into a storm, and you're going to be tempted, and you're going to struggle, and you're going to fail, and you're going to deny me. But I prayed that your faith, not Peter, that you wouldn't fail, but that at the root of it, your faith, what you're anchored to, that would not fail. And then he goes on to say, when you come out of that, strengthen your brothers. Strengthen your brothers and sisters. And it's not written here, but I do believe that that same heart of intercession was there for Thomas as well. You say, how do you come to that conclusion? I say, because after 8 days, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's rolling with his brothers. He's rolling with his brothers. He's with the disciples. He didn't abandon, he didn't forsake, he didn't bail, he didn't toss in the towel. Where do we find Thomas? Even though Thomas had not gotten what the others received, Thomas is still present with the disciples, probably even though he didn't feel like it. Probably even though he could have chosen to lean into the self-pity and the discouragement. When everything was spinning, Thomas decided to make a choice. You know, I'm not a big board game person. How many of you are? You play board games? Raise your hand. All right. Okay. We won't play board games here at the second service either. But you guys know the old board games that had the spinner on them? And like you'd flick the spinner, and you know I'm a guy, so I was always like trying to hit it as hard as I possibly could. But you flick the spinner and the whole thing spins, and you're not necessarily sure where it's going to end up. This is what crisis does to us. It's like we get hit and we spin. We spin in the circumstance, we spin in the emotion, we spin in our confusion. And at some point, you know, we have to make a choice, because the spinning can stop. The spinning can stop if we choose to do the right thing. And this was what Thomas did. Thomas chose to do the right thing. He chose to be with his brothers, to be present with the people of God, even though he felt left out and let down. And I think for Thomas, look, you see in all of this a willingness to, when it was hard, make the right choice. I want to encourage you today. I know someone's going through it. I know that God has a message for someone this morning, and you know you're spinning. You've been spinning, and I want to say to you, you know you can slow the spinning down and even stop it if you choose to lean into God. Choose to do the right thing. Lean into God. Don't lean into the world. Don't lean into the drug. Don't lean into the bottle. Don't lean into Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Don't lean into the news. It'll only mess you up even more. Lean into God. Lean into him and pray. Lean into him and seek his face.